So if someone decides to become a client, what comes next?
Well, once someone signs up, we start with the financial planning process. It's a 7-step, fairly detailed process, but the basic idea is that we help them gather the necessary information. We talk with them to find out what is important to them and what questions they have in their lives. We analyze all that information and we come back with some ideas of what we think makes sense and answers to their specific questions. Then we discuss all of this with them so they can decide what they'd like to do. Like one thing about financial planning, Maddie, is that there are all sorts of ways of being successful, and everyone's different. So people are much more successful when they buy into an idea. So when there are alternate courses of action available, we lay out the pros and cons and then help the clients work through the decision so they can make the best decision for them. While we are going through the planning process, at the same time, we're helping the clients open accounts at Schwab and start transferring their accounts. So by the time the plan is ready, we can implement the investment part of the plan. We actually had a call last night with clients who came on in the fall, and like their initial plan was to use some of their assets first in their retirement, and then they get Social Security later. And they talked about it a lot over the holidays. They wanted to have a call, and they're more comfortable with him starting Social Security and her starting her pension when they retire later this year. And maybe that's not the optimal plan, but it's still a really good plan, and they're comfortable with it, and it's going to work out just fine for them. So I encourage them to talk about that and to come up with something that they're happy with. And so, if in the finance classroom that plan is not quite as good as the initial plan, it's still plenty good, and they'll be happy with it. So we're going to move to that plan. So that's the way that the financial planning can work. I lay out the pros and cons of the different options. And, we do try to help clients stick with the ones that we think will be successful. But once we get to that part, it's really like what is comfortable, what seems to make sense, and what they'll decide to do.